even went to the extent to be calling, parents homophobic, bigots, and it was really hostile.
Yeah, you're evil if you don't believe in gender theory. If you don't let the kids transition at 12, 10 years old, hey, if you don't let them sterilize the kids, make them so that they can never have sex ever because their private parts don't work. Yeah, if you don't believe in that, you're just an evil person. You're a Hitler. you're a Hitler. That's what you are.
Hostile. It was such a hostile. I've never been in such an environment like that before. It became really tense and uncomfortable.
And you couldn't opt out from this? They wouldn't allow parents to opt out? You had to go, or your son had to attend?
He had to go. We had to go to the extent of just, for many of us, we work, and we had to go to the extent of taking days off work just to remove our children. But, on that particular day, I think what was quite scary was what might have been happening beforehand, because they never made a big announcement about this. They put it on a blog, so it's just on a school blog, no letters, no informing parents.
Well, what kinds of things did they do at the parade? The judge in this case, Chris Letham, said he didn't see anything contrary to Christian values.
So there was, like I said, throughout the month, there was this, rainbows and, rainbow flags and, like I said, like breaking down this gender stereotyping. And so when the children were marching around, they were encouraged to wear colourful clothes. And other children in different year groups had watched videos of like people kissing, same-sex kissing. So this march was at the end of that, and it was just to basically bring everything that they had been doing together and basically, encourage the idea of Pride Parade marches, which is exactly that, singing gay anthems and marching around the school.
So it's more than just one parade. So why did Judge Letham rule against you? What did he say about your religious and parental rights?
He seemed to think, this school had put posters around the school, stonewall posters about, I'm gay, get over it, mum and mum equals love, dad and dad's boyfriend equals love. He seemed to think that this was all part of, Christian beliefs, that Christians believe in this as well. There's no difference in what Christians believe in and what, this is promoting. I had never... It was the first I had ever heard of this. We went through a whole court trial, very much putting our case forward of what we believed in. There was a question that was put towards me that I had said in the email, that I had said that I don't believe that people from LGBT backgrounds face the discrimination that they used to do, and therefore I don't really see them at a disadvantage. And he was very angry at me saying that, and he asked me, what do you mean you don't see them at a disadvantage? And I replied that, well, they have all the rights that, that everybody else does. They don't name one right that they don't have. And he was really angry, and he even at some points was asking me to apologize and to take things back. And I just didn't understand why, but obviously now I do.
Well, I know that you've got this on an appeal. Keep us posted on what transpires in your case. From London, Izzy Montague.
With us for an interview. It's as simple as that. Well, there's two options there. That's not awful, is it? No, because we're not going to discuss things outside law.
This guy's preaching, and he's he's saying, so he didn't bring it up for 20 minutes. He's just preaching regular preaching stuff. You know what I mean? And someone asked him about LGBT, whatever, and he said, well, it's a sin, you know what I mean? And that's what it says in the Bible, that you can't get into heaven. So, of course, the crowd's getting wild, and they end up calling the police on him, basically. This is after like an hour, though. Then the crowd kept getting bigger and bigger, and he finally, keeps trying getting off the subject, but they keep going back to, whatever. So now there's 6 cops surrounding him.
Okay, those are your two options now. Everybody either leaves, disperses, that's the end of the matter. Okay, or we deal with it the other way. And then we'll be arrested for suspending disorder.
Listen, if you want to go, or just go over there and watch, and I'll carry on speaking, and I'll give them... No, I'm not giving any details.
Just tell me something.
We need to give you
No, you don't.
details.
Listen,
We do.
somebody's
guys, so
The defence is nothing to any details.
somebody said you're in the fence. Part of the reason I can't arrest you is for your name and address as well.
So my friend here, he's been
So I'm detained now?
Yeah, you are,
being
yeah.
arrested
I am
I can look, I can listen if you want.
just walking off down the street.
But I thought the law was that you only have to give your name.
It's just making an offence. That gives me the power to take your
Those of you
details.
who are really
So you give me
happy
the
that
details now.
freedom of speech has been
Cop is saying, it's hard to hear them, but the cop is saying, you are, you know, we don't have to have any proof about anything. We suspect you of, you know, hate crime, of, you know, saying that gay people aren't, or, you know, don't get into heaven or whatever the hell he said. And he's saying you either give us your name. By law now you have to give us your name so we can put you on a list. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent. And you can either do that and leave, or we're going to arrest you, is what he's saying.
quenched intimidation has been given now by the police.
Yeah, but what this
Unauthorised
legislation does,
Listen, we're going around in circles now.
happening.
Go and explain
I
it time
can I just still
Give us your
continue to
details, you're getting
share.
locked
Now
up.
earlier on I shared a
Stop
little
there. We're just going around in circles now, sir. So if you explain it, give us your details, and like you say, we'll get it sorted and you'll be on your way.
earlier on I shared a little bit of my personal story.
sorry?
For those of you who didn't hear it, 42 years ago now, I know I don't look 62, 42 years ago now, my life was totally changed. And it changed for one reason.
Your name is David?
I came and I met this man Jesus. Jesus changed his life.
McConnell?
For me,
MCC,
gave me purpose.
O-double-N,
O-double-N,
O-double-N, E-double-L,
these things that happened to me, and that's 42
12,980.
have happened to me.
12,980.
So your job is satisfied.
It's 12,980.
980.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, right, I've been unlawfully arrested for preaching in the past. No, but I'm saying, in the past, I've been unlawfully arrested, and the police had to pay out £3,250 to me for an unlawful arrest. I've had allegations like this in the past, and I've spoke to constables when they've come down, and they saw that it was a load of nonsense. And you know what? They didn't even take the details. Because
he's complaining that this has happened before, and he's, you know, taking them to court and got money. They don't care, because they want to scare them into being too scared to do it. You know, they don't have to change the law as much as just scare enough people that we're going to arrest you and take you down for 10 hours, you know, make you go to court, and then we're going to drop all the charges, you know what I mean? But we're going to make your life miserable if you keep going out and doing that, you know what I mean?
What we're doing here,
Flockton.
and I'm just going to take
Flockton, that's Wakefield.
we are simply sharing what the Bible
I was even in Hull a few weeks ago. I was unlawfully arrested, right, for public order section 5 for preaching at a...
What's funny is they always have these cameras on them, you know what I mean? Not the cops, well they do too probably, but the preachers that are out there preaching, they take cameras with them now so that they can prove that they're not, you know, doing anything. That alone, when you come in and you see the crowd and you see the guy has a camera on it, most likely he's not, he recorded all of it, he's not doing anything wrong, you know what I mean? But whatever.
In a college, right? But once I had a conversation with the officer, and he spoke to his sergeant, he arrested me on the spot. You see, and that's another case. No, listen, what I'm trying to do is I want to work with the police the best I can to deal with the situation without my rights being violated. Is that not fair?
Free speech, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're not abusing people, free speech. If you want to talk about it,
but the thing is, right, because I know my rights and freedom of expression, I know what I can say and I can't say, right? Then I video record everything. So I know. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I know within me. I know what I can do and what I can't do. So I know that I've never violated any law. The person who came up right, was a man in woman's clothes, okay? And
Listen, I'm not having that. I'm not having that because she's told you she's a woman. Okay.
He said all that happened was a man in woman's clothes came up, and now this cop is like, whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, you know that she's a woman.
he asked me, okay? He asked me.
I messed up there. Oh, did you see that? He said he, and they said, oh, I meant she. She asked me, and he's going into the story. But watch what happens. Oh, as soon as he misgendered her, woo! Let's see what happens.
What did I think?
You're under arrest, okay?
Oh, he's under arrest.
Section 4, homophobic.
Oh, it's homophobic.
No, I said in there. Thanks for answering one question to Eric.
I sat at the back of the bus, a woman gets on,
Don't stop answering one question because later on I keep saying at the beginning. The reason why I'm arresting you is for a homicide investigation, okay? To prevent any more offences and any disorder or harm to people.
A what?
He's saying words that harm people. And look, what's funny is the people beg for it. They beg to be oppressed and to be screwed over by the elites. Look at them cheer, yay, elites! Yay, freedom of speech, we don't want that. We don't want that. And don't believe this lie that the UK doesn't have, I'm tired of hearing these idiots saying, oh, they don't have the freedom of speech like we have. You know, we have the first 10 amendments, we have the Bill of Rights. They don't have the same constitution we have. That doesn't mean they have zero freedom of right, freedom of speech rights, you idiots. They act like Americans think if they don't have a constitution, they have zero rights to speech. What are you, retarded? It's the freaking UK. Of course they have rights to the freedom of speech, you idiots. Just because it's not the same exact as ours, they have slightly different or additional limits. Doesn't mean they don't have free speech, you morons. It's the UK. Of course they have free speech. Now this is another preacher out preaching or whatever, you know what I mean, on the street. They all have permits and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And they have a body cam, you know. Why do they have why would a preacher have a body cam? They have a body cam because this is constantly happening.
If you preach in here, it also depends on what you say. Because you might be committing criminal offences as well.
For example, give us an example.
Any homophobic comments? Yeah. If you make a members of
it's saying right here, after a member of the public alleged that they had been racist and homophobic. So now this is the trick of racism, man. They get you to be, your society to be a bunch of freaking supremacists while they're so busy trying not to be racist. Like, really, racist is basically calling people names. Supremacy is where people have more rights, okay? And if you have a right not to be called names, okay, then you have a right that no one in the history of the history has ever had, okay? You supremacist, elitist piece of shit. Alright? Nobody has that right.
of the public, harassment, alarm, distress, it's a criminal offence.
I'm aware of that. Yeah.
Harassment, alarm, distress, it's a criminal offence.
I'm aware.
If you make a members of the public, harassment, alarm, distress, it's a criminal offence.
I'm aware of that. Yeah, so that's what we're not really doing that. What we're doing is about preaching our religion.
You're going to provide me with the details, yes or no?
What details are you requesting?
I need your name and your address.
Okay, so can you explain to me why do you need these details?
Pardon?
Can you explain to me? Because I don't understand that. Why?
Okay, currently there's allegation.
Okay.
It's an offence.
So what allegation was it, sir?
Hate crime.
Hate crime.
Section 4, public order offence.
So what was said to cause the hate crime, sir?
Homophobic behaviour.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
I've not heard anything. I'm not saying I've heard anything. Homophobic behaviour.
Give me an example. What was said to cause the hate crime, sir?
Homophobic behaviour.
Give me an example.
What was said to cause a hate crime, sir?
Homophobic behaviour.
Give me a example, sir.
I've not heard anything. I'm not saying I've heard anything. Someone's called us, okay? It might be completely
someone called someone a name. And what's funny is they didn't even call them names. They're just doing their religious thing. But it's like, even if he was calling people names, like, really? This is like they like act like someone's got murdered or something. Like, what? Someone got they call